Google NanoBanana, Google Gemini's new AI image generator, made it possible for us to generate professional headshots and professional lifestyle photos of ourselves that we can put on our website, LinkedIn, and social media without making us look like AI robots. In this video, I'm going to show you 11. I don't have 11 fingers. I'm going to show you 11 use cases for Google Gemini NanoBanana. If you want to learn how to actually use NanoBanana, click the other tutorial in the description. The first prompt, create a press-ready studio portrait, plain background, dramatic lighting, formal pose, and natural smile. All you have to do when you put in this prompt is put a picture of yourself that you have. This could be from a previous headshot or just you standing against the wall. Make sure that it's a photo where only you are included. So this will be the prompt. And if you connect with me and message me on LinkedIn, I'll actually give you a resource with the list of all of these prompts so that you don't have to take a screenshot and write each one of these down. My LinkedIn profile is in the YouTube description below. So here it first gave me this. And as you could see, what's amazing about this is that when I click it, it's clear. I like that it has like the little wrinkles and that it's not perfect. It matches the imperfections of the original headshot that I put in. It matches my thickness. A lot of the AI image generators in the past, it would maybe identify that I had some Latina in me, and it would constantly make the chest huge, which isn't necessarily the case. It would always make the arms ultra skinny, which is not necessarily the case. My hair looks very similar to the photo. My makeup looks similar. And so does my smile. The next prompt that I gave it was change the color of the blazer to white, and it did that. It kept the hair pretty much the same, the imperfections pretty much the same, and the pose pretty much the same, as well as the dimensions. And then I said, make the blazer a more luxurious style. And I like the fact that it kept the wrinkles in with whatever material this is. I'm not a fashion icon, as you can clearly tell. And then I said, make the blazer another color that will enhance her skin tone. And it gave me an emerald green. I kind of like the white better. But if I wanted to download any one of these images, I could, and I will download the full size image. So not only can you get the original output of these prompts, you can play with them as you go along. Let's go to headshot number 2. So I'm putting in my true headshot, which is the one that I flew to a different city. It took me 8 hours to shoot. I got probably like 100 photos, and obviously it's amazing, but I had to get childcare. I had to get dog care. It took 3 days out of the business, and I just don't want to prioritize that right now. I do think there's a place for photographers to stay to get like the true essence of who you are, but there's also a place for AI to be able to replicate that essence so that you have more marketing collateral at a much lower cost. Create a meet the founder photo of this woman with a warm professional look. All I did was give it the image, give it the prompt, and then here you could see that it created a meet the founder look. The pose looks very natural. I love the blazer. One thing that it did do, for some reason, it says meet the founder, Jessica Santos. I have no idea who that is. So I said remove the white text on the lower bottom, and it did that. I took it a step further and I said style her in the style of Alexander Wang clothing, and it made me more like this. This is much more my style, like I'm usually wearing black. It kind of changed the formatting of my face, and it has a tendency to, when I'm not smiling, to thin my nose too much, and I want to find a prompt that combats against that. Then I took it a step further and I said remove the blazer. I love this. I think that the white setting is a little bit off, but I could change the setting. Number 3, create an about photo of this woman for her website with a warm professional look. She is a business coach. So what I did was I built onto the previous prompt, and instead of saying meet the founder, where maybe you're attracting investors, you're raising rounds of money, and you have to appeal more to that type of style, it would understand that number 1, I'm a business coach and that this isn't necessarily for that. It's for an about section on my website. Because of that, it created this, which I think is great. I love this photo. It got my proportions pretty much right on. It did a great job, especially with the lighting behind it and the smile. My hair is a little shorter, but maybe I got extensions. And then I added, make the blazer gold, peach, or white, and gold with matching pants. So it updated it with some accents. Then I said, change the hand placement to be more relaxed and natural, which I loved. If it looks AI-ish, you want to change the placement of the hands. You want to change where the eyes are looking into the supposed camera lens. And maybe just a more natural pose helps a lot. Then I said, make the background wall black shiplap to match more of my office style background. And it did. I love it. I put change the outfit to light peach or pink, which is okay. I like it, but I like the white better. And then I said, replace the books and bowl with a bouquet of flowers. And it didn't replace it, but it added it. And then I stopped there because I could tell that the flowers looked fake. If you add too much or you stay too long in a chat, I could see the quality of the image go down or the memory kind of trail off. The most that I've seen it hold on without really having that much of an effect is probably 7 to 10 back and forths. After like the 10 or 12, I personally have seen a trail off. Again, maybe that's just my prompting, but I think that this one was great, and I will be using this image for marketing purposes. Headshot number 4. This headshot is more of a podcast studio style headshot, or think radio show style headshot. Create an image of this woman sitting at a podcast microphone, branded backdrop, media ready shot. It is an amazing headshot. I love the angle. I love that the blue matches the blue in the back. It pretty much matches more or less how I would look with a little bit more makeup at that angle. And I love how it just chose a name for a podcast called The Global Chat. There are a few things that need to be improved with this image. It being the fact that my hand is on a mouse. I would probably remove the phone and I would maybe remove the iPad, although maybe not, because there are a lot of podcasters that look at notes on their iPad while they're doing the show, especially if the show is live and more of a talk show style podcast. But when it comes to even the type of microphone that it used a microphone that is meant to be the Shure SMB7, I believe. The headphones are pretty spot on, as well as how they flatten the hair and everything. The creases around the arms, because my arms are bent in the photo, are pretty spot on. This is absolutely incredible that it can create this level of accuracy with just one prompt. Google Gemini is really, really impressing me with NanoBanana. Number 5. This is actually one that I created in Google Gemini's AI Studio instead of Google Gemini app. I created it with an image that it generated of me. The reason why I use this image is because the prompt said standing up in front of a whiteboard. Because of that, I wanted to use a standing up photo. The prompt here is create an image of this woman leading a workshop, whiteboard with bullet points behind her like she is teaching a class. And this is what it came up with, which is really pretty good. I love the fact that it just kind of understood that I teach things about marketing and branding. I don't know how it did that. And then all of this is spelled right. That's interesting as well. The fact that there's shadows, it's amazing. And then I added to it by saying, make her point at the whiteboard as if she's in motion in the middle of a lesson. When I did that, it started to fade and lose understanding of how I look in my face. And perhaps it wouldn't if in the beginning I would give it more of a side pose. So that's something to keep in mind. You want to see when it starts trailing off and when it just doesn't look like you at all. Number 6, we're going to add a gradient to the back of any headshot that you like. So I took one of the headshots that we created from the previous prompts and I took it and I didn't like the background, right? All I said was add a gradient background to turn this into a professional headshot. And it did. But I didn't really like the white gradient background. So I said, make the background darker, like a brownish cinnamon with gold hues. And it did that. And I love it. I love this one. So I love the colors. I also like the light one too. Don't get me wrong, but maybe I like this one better actually. I'm going to download both of them. And again, I like that the proportions here are pretty spot on. It's not making the chest huge. It's not making the arms overly skinny. There's a little chunk right there that may be true or not true. Number 7 is related to LinkedIn. So here I put the image of myself and I said, create a modern LinkedIn influencer headshot of this woman, high resolution, creative lighting, clean design. And then this is what it came up with. I like that photo, but I don't like the gray corporate suit. I added to it and I said, make the suit a color that will accentuate her eyes and skin tone. It did that. It always leans towards green and I always make it go white. So I said, make the suit off white with a gold accent. It did that. Remove the gold accents on the suit, and I like that better. This is the final output of what I did, and download. And this would be a great LinkedIn headshot, although I like mine better, but you get what I'm saying. This could also be a great headshot for a post on LinkedIn that will probably get a lot of views. Number 8 is a glamour style black and white photos. So there's this photo of Oprah where she's kind of looking in the distance. It's black and white. I love that photo. It's like power and femininity and business and non-business kind of all in one. Black and white studio portrait of this woman, head and shoulders looking upwards and slightly to the right with a soft, natural expression. She has her hair pulled back in a neat bun and is wearing an off-the-shoulder dark velvet top and a single dark pearl earring. The lighting is soft and even, creating gentle shadows and highlighting her features against a plain light gray background. Here's the photo that it came up with, and it included the singular pearl earring. Then I said, enhance the contrast, depth, and shadows. And I got more of what I was looking for here. Now, the way that I got the prompt is pretty simple. I gave the photo of Oprah to Google Gemini, and I said, if I wanted to recreate this photo for someone else, what should the prompt be? And then this is the prompt that I created. It doesn't understand that I want to create it with an image of myself. So it said studio portrait of an older Black woman, but I just deleted this and said studio portrait of this woman when I gave it the image. So if you have an image or a stance or a pose or whatever that you want to recreate, all you have to do is give it to Google Gemini and say, if I wanted to recreate this image, or if I wanted to recreate this photo with AI, what should the prompt be? And it will give you a very specific prompt. You could also do the same by giving the photo to ChatGPT. Number 9 was generated in AI Studio again, and the prompt is headshot of this woman in a business casual outfit, 3/4 angle profile with a soft smile, blurred indoor background, natural daylight, approachable and relatable. And then here's the photo. And I think it's a great photo, especially for marketing purposes. Here you could see the full image. If I wanted the hair to be fuller, if I wanted the background to look different, I could always change it. Here, I did actually do that. I've said, make the background look more luxurious, and it changed it to this. But I actually liked the color of the blazer, the undershirt. That's a great marketing type picture that you could put a quote on, or you could just add a story to. Number 10. The prompt for this one is create a minimalist fashion portrait of this woman leaning casually against a light colored wall. So basically, you're going to get a professional portrait of yourself leaning up against the wall, wearing a fitted long sleeve burgundy top tucked into a high waisted dark trousers with a brown suede belt, natural makeup, and a calm, confident expression. I got this prompt very similarly to how I got the prompt from Oprah's image. I gave it a photo and I said, if I wanted to recreate this image, what would the prompt be? And then this is the output, which I love. I'm posting this tomorrow. I need to take a real picture like this. And, not to brush my own shoulders off, but I could be truly photogenic. It's just the time. It's the time, the setup. It could take a whole day to get 50 good pictures. 50 good pictures go like this these days, especially when you're posting on all platforms. Maybe you're even doing ads. You can just scale at a much lower cost at such a faster rate if you just use more of the essence of yourself. Like I said, I think the winning combination is going to be doing both in-person photo shoots to have more recency of how you look and everything. But don't get it twisted. I think some of the biggest influencers are going to be leveraging this tool like you won't imagine. Here's the photo and I love it. And then I said, make the belt thinner, make the outfit classier, old money look kind of like a Ralph Lauren. I love the fact that it's not just making me like a size 0. I love the fact that these proportions are spot on. I love the fact that the pose leaning against the wall with the shadows looks very natural. I'm definitely going to be using these photos. Number 11, create an image of this woman working on a laptop in a minimal office, sitting on the edge of a wooden desk. She wears a white sleeveless top, high waisted cream trousers, nude heels, large framed artwork of yellow roses on the wall. The place where I got the original inspiration for this photo was actually right here. I love how she's just sitting at the edge of her desk. I love the big art in the background. I'm a fan of huge art. And I love the look, how it's clean, but still has accents of like rusticness. I love it. So I just took a screenshot of this and I asked the AI for the prompt. And then this is what it came up with. It's awesome, right? It has very much of that essence, but not being the same photo. And I love the fact that it kept more of the brownness in my hair. The only thing though is that the desk kind of looks like a bench, half desk. I would need to fix the proportions of that. I added to it though by saying make the desk more rustic. And then I said make the photo bigger, the roses more gold, and add wood floors. I like that a lot better. Before you go, I have a 12th surprise for you, a headshot that will be of use to you, especially within this season, especially with the upcoming holiday that has to do with pumpkins and blood. The prompt here is generate this woman, but I was testing, so I put Shanae Murray in a Halloween themed business promo. And it said that I can't generate a specific person. Then I just put this image. I didn't even say anything with it. And then it said, now I understand. You'd like to use this image and incorporate a Halloween theme for a business promo. Here you go. So just think about all of the upcoming holidays. You can do fall pictures, all of the upcoming holiday pictures, the New Year's, all of those things as marketing collateral for your business, for your personal brand, so that you can get more attention, so that you can have a better chance of reaching the people that you are meant to serve. I added to it and said, make the suit orange and the back look more like a podcast studio. And it did. In that way, I'm probably going to be attracting creators that are building personal brands that have podcasts that can recognize this, that feel comfortable with this environment versus more of this, which is like a corporate office type of thing. Here it says, make her dress more like Wednesday. My daughter loves Wednesday Addams, and that character, she wants all of us to dress like the Addams family this year. It created me to have more like Wednesday vibes. And that's wild because I will probably look very similar to that on Halloween, and it looks really spot on. Here, I wanted to see how well it would change the words that are on the promo, because one of the things, if you watch Wednesday or know anything about Wednesday, is that she's really brave. She doesn't care what people think, and she's just herself. I love the character. Then it says, be as brave as Wednesday, start posting on LinkedIn. And it got that part, be as brave as Wednesday, start posting on LinkedIn. But then it really was giving me a difficult time to remove the orange and the small writing on the bottom. Then I said delete all the words, and it finally did that, so that maybe I could then take this and start in a new chat, prompt it again, or just take it to something like Canva. In the next video, I'll be doing a lot more promo, season, holiday style prompts that you can leverage to get more attention for your business in the coming months. God bless you. Let me know which prompt was your favorite. Go start prompting.